So Bill is calling from California. Pronouns are he, him. Bill's a theist and says, God is real. Look around. Hey, Bill, how are you? You're on with Ian and Matt.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, you're telling us to look around and see God. What is it we should see that would identify a God?
I mean, when I look around, it feels too intelligent to not be. It seems like something started all this, whether it's a god, some sort of alien race, something like that. I just don't think it's all on purpose or by accident, I mean.
Okay. So basically, you're saying God is real because when you look around, you just can't imagine that it wasn't made by a God?
It just seems to point in that direction more than not, yes.
Well, that seems to me to be a failure of imagination on your part more than it is evidence for a God, right?
No.
No. So what is the evidence
No.
that you can identify that strongly and exclusively points to a God?
That's how I think. I just don't think it's possible that we are by accident.
Well, so none of us are claiming that by accident is a good assessment of natural processes. Natural processes are the way they are for reasons and operate in a way that isn't, typically viewed as accidental. But my apologies, Bill, but I'm looking for people to offer reasons to believe something, and you're not offering reasons to believe. You're just saying that you personally look around and find that belief is preferable or more warranted than not believing. And yet when I ask for evidence, you offer nothing.
Well, how do you think it all started?
Well, let's assume for a second that I don't know at all. I have no idea. I don't have to guess. That's the point. You don't have to guess. You don't have to pretend to know shit you don't know. You don't have to say, you know what? I have to believe something about the origin of the universe. No, you don't. Because if there's if there's two possibilities and you have no way of identifying which one of them is correct, why would you pick the other one or either of them?
I'm just saying if you had to guess just for fun.
I don't have to guess, and it's not fun. But if I had to guess, I would say,
isn't it fun to think about that?
No, it's not fun. This is a monumental waste. Okay, well, it's a monumental waste of time. But if I had to guess, I would guess that the universe came about by natural processes, unguided by any intelligence.
Okay.
Well, Bill, can I ask a question? Like, I guess my question is,
yeah,
if you're going to play that game of let's guess, there are how many possibilities are there? I mean, wouldn't you say that there are billions of? I mean, there's an infinite number of possibilities I could make up from gods to aliens, like you said, to anything. So how is that useful to anyone? That okay, yeah, I think it's aliens, and Matt thinks it's natural processes, and you think it's God, and my daughter thinks it's a universe creating unicorn. Like, I mean, how does that get us anywhere?
Because I think thinking like that, you find the truth in being curious. And I think you guys are kind of just stuck on no. I think you guys are stuck on no.
No what?
No God.
That's not what we're stuck on. We're not saying there is no God. We're saying we're not convinced there is a God. We may also go further and say that there is no God, but we're not stuck on anything. We are actually open to being convinced of anything if you actually come with an evidence-based argument and don't just come with, gosh, I can't imagine it's not that way.
Oh, okay. I disagree, but
how can you disagree with me saying.
Because I think no matter what people say to you, Matt,
let me finish my question. How can you answer a question before I've even? How can you answer a question before I've even fucking asked it?
Because I'm not answering your question. I'm telling you something. If you would let me speak.
Yeah, that's the problem, is you're not answering my question. How dare you suggest that we haven't allowed you to speak? We've asked you questions. We've answered your questions. We've given you plenty of time to speak. You have said absolutely nothing of use or substance. You've provided no argument supported by no evidence. You've just asserted that when you look around, you see a world that it seems more reasonable to you that was created by an intelligence. Well, good for you. The rest of us need something more than Bill's incredulity.
I think if someone gave you and called in on the show and gave you evidence, I think you would deny it no matter what.
I think, Bill, that's a bullshit excuse, and you're not a serious caller. You're not actually interested in discussing this, and you already know.
Been wrong, Matt?
I've been wrong many times, Bill. Have you ever been honest? 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 Because you're not being honest now.
Have you ever been proven wrong?
Because you're never going to fucking talk over me, Bill. You are never, ever, ever going to be able to talk over me. It's never going to happen. You just accused us of being dishonest. So first of all, fuck you. But second of all, if in fact you wanted to demonstrate that we would deny real evidence, why don't you provide that real evidence and see if we deny it right now? Put up or shut up.
Do you talk like this to people?
Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up.
You wouldn't talk like this to anybody in real life.
You don't think so? You come and talk to me in real life.
Not.
I talk to everybody like this. Anytime they're being dishonest like you, Bill, you are dishonest, and I call you out. And don't you dare suggest that I wouldn't do it in person. I've literally walked off stages. I've literally called people out live in the middle of debates to leave. See, you're not serious, Bill. You're not real. You're not a theist. You don't believe. You don't have an argument, and you don't care to have an honest discussion. Instead, you are calling in to waste everybody's time, which is why instead of presenting evidence, you're coming at me personally. So here's your last chance. When I unmute you, present your evidence and prove that we will deny it. Go.
That's all I got, Matt. Thanks.
I know it's all you got. Bye.
Matt, the problem is you just refuse to believe the evidence they don't present to you.
I know. They decided that they're not going to present evidence because they already know I'm just not going to accept it. That's so why bother?
Yeah. You know? Yeah. I love that. It's one of my favorite things to hear someone say, because I feel like I've heard that and seen that, not maybe with you, with me, when people say that over and over. Oh, you're just going to you wouldn't accept it if we presented it to you. And it's like, well, then fucking present it. I don't
yeah.
No one. When is that going to happen?
Yeah, it's like,
please
imagine this scenario. Ian's here, and Ian's like, "Hey, I want somebody to present evidence of God," and I called in and said, "Well, I would present the evidence, but even if I did, you would just dismiss it. So I'm not gonna." Well, first of all, let's change that around to Ian wants evidence that vaccines cause autism. And somebody calls in and says, "Well, I would present the evidence, but you wouldn't believe it." Cool. Does this happen at all in real science, in real inquiry? Does somebody show up and say, "You know what? I would present to you the evidence of common ancestry. So I will. The fusing of chromosome 2 at the centromere is clear evidence of common ancestry between humans and other great apes." That's one data point of many. Now, if in fact you're the type of person like a creationist who will just reject that evidence, I don't have to tell people, "You're one of those creationists who will reject that evidence." I just need to present the evidence and let you reject it. You've told on yourself. But when it's the opposite way, when it's like, I would present the evidence, but you just reject it anyway, you just told on yourself. We all know. We know you ain't got shit, which is why after we dance around in here, you acknowledge that's all I got. I know. I knew that before I ever picked up the phone. Thanks for proving I'm right.
He also has a girlfriend in Canada that he doesn't have any pictures of, but she's real.
She's smoking.
Hey, do you think this clip just fell out of a coconut tree? No. It did. Okay, now technically I did build the channel into a coconut tree and it did fall out. And also that our internet router is up there. Actually, in a lot of ways, this production fell out of a coconut tree, but we could only afford that because people like you supported us for $5 a month over where is that, Eric?
Patreon.com/call the line. And
that's right.
Jimmy will,
you got it.
Yeah, be grateful. Yeah.
We have an exclusive patron podcast over there. Check it out. Thumbs up with it, Eric. We talked about this in the meeting. We have to both.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go.